So now I've gotten my locators put in through the entire song. So you can see I'm down here at the end of the song, and all of my locators are in. So I know where intro, verse 1, pre-chorus, all that stuff is. So the next thing we're going to do is add cue tracks to this and a click track. So you're going to go into your browser and you're going to find under Live 8 user library, you're going to type in cue. And what this is doing is it's finding anything that has this in the name, and it's only showing you folders that have that. So it makes it real convenient if you're trying to search for a snare drum or a kick drum or a piano sound or something. You can just type in the word you're looking for, then click through everything and see which folders have it. So I'm going to open this up. I like to use the arrow keys on the keyboard to navigate because it makes it really quick. I'm clicking on the folder and then hitting the right arrow key to open, and then hitting the down arrow to go to the next folder, then right arrow, etc., etc. And this is where you're going to find this instrument called LC Pack, and this is something that comes from Loop Community, and we're going to drop it into our project just by bringing it down and dropping it in this field here, right where it says drop files and devices. We're just going to drop it anywhere in here. We could drop it over here too, but anywhere is fine. So I just dropped another instance of that in as well because we're going to use it for clicks as well. So I'm going to close that out and open these up. Now right now these are MIDI tracks, but they don't have any information in them. There's no MIDI information in them. We have not added anything yet. So what I'm going to do is arm these tracks, and I'm going to record just a little piece of information. That's all I needed, just enough to get it started. And then these MIDI files, you can just drag to any size you want, and we're going to try to cover the entire song. So we have a MIDI track that is as long as the song is on both of these. Okay, so there you go. What we do with these is this is an instrument that Loop Community developed. It's a device, a software instrument, if you will, that is just full of cues and clicks for all the different parts of the song. If you look over here at the device, this is your device window. It's showing you everything that is available. Actually, this is showing an entire 88 key keyboard and everything that goes where all of the samples are on the keyboard. So if I click down here at the bottom, this is all the samples that are on the bottom side and then on up through. And what we're going to do is start putting some information in this. So I'm going to double click on my cue pack, and it opens up an example of the MIDI track. So down here on the right, we have the MIDI track on the left, and we have the device on the right, down the bottom right-hand corner. So if I click on the device, I can get back to the device information, and if I click on the MIDI track, it comes back to the MIDI track. So you can see that the length of our MIDI track is, let me see, 106 measures long. I had to consolidate the track to get that. You just do that by clicking on the track and then hit Command J, and that's consolidate. You can also right click with your mouse and go down to consolidate. Okay. And what that does is that pulls all the different clips that might be pulled together in that track and makes it into one track. So since we recorded a small piece of MIDI and then stretched it out, it was only seeing like a couple beats And so by hitting consolidate, it now sees the entire MIDI track as one big monolithic track. So we're going to put our cues here, and I'm going to rename this track so we know what it is from the get-go. I'm going to click on the name of the track and hit Command R, and that lets me rename it. And then I'm going to go to this one and put click to make my click track. So let's do the click track first, because that's pretty easy. This song's in 4/4. Here's our first bar, and I'm going to go ahead and push this window up so we can see all the instruments that are in this rack. Okay, and that's not even all of them. I have to scroll a little bit to see all of them. Okay. So way down here at the bottom, we have click and click accent. This is basically a gigantic piano roll that goes from the beginning of the song to the end. So this is measure 1, and it's divided up into eighth notes, and I can put in information here by double clicking, and that just inserted a click accent on measure 1. If you put the solo button on, you can actually hear those. So here's what that sounds like. And then here's the click sound without the accent. All right, so these need to click at eighth note, I think, at this tempo. So we're going to click accent and then put 4 in. So it can be kind of tedious putting all this in by hand, so I'm going to show you a fast way to duplicate these. But let's listen. I'm going to hit the space bar. All right. So I've just put these 8 notes in, and I'm going to select them all and then hit Command D, and that duplicates into the next measure. Then I'm going to hit Command A to select all, and then Command D again, and then Command A. And now I'm just going to hit Command D over and over and over again, and it'll fill up the entire song with click. And this last one bled over the ending a little bit, which is fine. We can just leave that. So our click track is done. We now have an audio click track that clicks through the entire song. And now we just need to set up the cue track. So same thing here, we'll double click. That opens up the cue track down here. And all we need to do here is add count in. Here, let me turn our solo on.
1, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now for this one,
2, 4.
pretty much everything is going to be quarter notes. So I'm going to right click anywhere in this field, and I'm going to tell the grid to go to quarter notes. So when I go down into measure 1, see between measure 1 and measure 2, now I'm just getting quarter notes in the bar instead of eighth notes. So it makes it a little easier. Another easier way to put in information is to hit Command B. That lets you go to draw mode, and you can click these notes in with a single click instead of using a double click. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're going to change this to intro. So where is intro? There we go.
Intro.
So now it starts like this.
Intro. 2, 3, 4.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back to select mode.
Intro.
Grab all those. And I'm going to copy using the Command C command. And I'm going to go to the next section of our song, and that is at measure 10. Measure 10 is a verse. So right before measure 10, I'm going to click here, hit paste. And so now I've got this intro 1, 2, 3, or intro 2, 3, 4 thing again. I'm just going to move this so that it says what's going to happen in 4 beats. So move this to verse.
Intro.
I can use the arrow key to move it up and down.
Verse.
So now it says
Verse. 2,
going to do the same thing for all of the different sections. I'm going to go to measure 17 and put in a pre-chorus.
Intro. Verse. Pre-chorus.
And measure 25 and put in, or not 25, but yeah, 25, and put in a chorus.
Intro. Verse. Pre-chorus. Chorus.
Okay, so go do that through the rest of the song and then go on to the next video.